Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and in this video we're going to talk about whether you should buy a car in Australia as an international student or not. Let's get into the video. Before we get into the video, please go ahead and do that subscribe button thingy in the bottom, and also do follow me on Instagram for regular updates on my stories, and also you can directly speak to me there, so that's a plus. So now that you have decided to buy a car, let's just hear about what are the things that you should consider before buying a car. First thing, why do you need it? Obviously, public transport is very easy, and you also get a concession while you are an international student, so 50% discount while you are a tertiary student here in Australia. So that's a good thing. You are also saving money while traveling public transport. Number one thing is you need a car because you might want to do delivery jobs. That is one of the easiest things which you can start doing in Australia, especially if you want to do Uber Eats, Menulog, or any kind of delivery job. Actually, you can also apply to Pizza Hut deliveries, Domino's. There are a lot of jobs out there, especially for deliveries, but you need a car of your own. So you might want to get into those jobs, and having your own vehicle definitely puts you on an edge. Second thing, for any other kind of jobs, if you have a vehicle, it's always preferred to have a vehicle of your own, because that ensures that you will show up on time, because public transport, even though how reliable it is, it still takes you a lot of time to reach somewhere from point A to point B. So employers will always prefer somebody who has their own car. Third thing, it's not really expensive. If you think about it, getting a used car, it's not that expensive. Considering Australia's economy, you can easily buy yourself a decent car for a decent price. But now that you have decided and you know that you need a car, let's talk about what are the things that you should consider before buying a car, and what are the things that you should look for in the car. So before I tell you what you should look for, I'll tell you my experience personally. Before, when I came to Australia as an international student, I did not have any more guidance on this topic. That's why I made a lot of mistakes, and in that process I learned a lot of things. So let me share that experience with you so that you don't make that mistakes which I did. So let's get into it. First thing, I bought my first car, which was, I think it was a Peugeot 307. I'll put a picture of that down here. This was my first car which I bought in Australia, and it was bought from Facebook Marketplace. So I just started looking on Facebook Marketplace, and I had decent experience buying used things on Facebook Marketplace. So I trusted Facebook Marketplace because there are a lot of people who are selling really good stuff for really cheap. So I thought Facebook Marketplace is a good place to buy a car. So I just looked up, but the problem with me was I was not aware of how the cars works. I just looked at the appearance of the car and I thought, okay, this car looks good, no scratches, the color is nice, and I went for it. And I went to the place, and he offered me the car, and I bought it, and the car had problems. So I had to return that car and get my money. I lost a lot of money in that whole process. And the second car which I bought was from a Facebook group. I bought it from an Indian, and then that car also had problems, and then I had to sell it back. And then the third car which I bought it from a dealer, and that's the car which I'm using right now, and that had no problems till now. So 3 cars in 1 year, especially not even 1 year, it was just 2-3 months which I bought 3 cars non-stop. Every car had some problem, which is horrible, especially as an international student when you don't have a lot of money to spend on a car. So that's a very bad thing to experience, which I did. But I'll tell you what you should do to not experience the same thing. Always consider one thing. First thing, think about your budget. If you have $2,000, don't buy a car. So if you have a $2,000 budget, under $2,000, all the cars that you're gonna buy are absolutely crap. They are not good, even though they might look good. They might have RWC and things like that, but don't go for it, because those are not gonna work for you, even though it might work for a couple of months. But then when you go and take it to a service, then you know that it's gonna cost you $1,500 to repair that car, which is horrible, and nobody should go through that. So don't buy a car under $2,000. That's my advice, unless there is somebody who is selling you, who's your roommate or something, and they're just letting go of their car for very cheap prices. Then maybe you can consider it, but obviously don't buy that under $2,000 car. And if you have more budget, if you have around $2,000 to $4,000 budget, then you can start looking on Facebook Marketplace, and also always look out for the dealerships, because the individual people who are selling it from their garage, or individual users, they might not know what are the expenses behind that car, or what it needs to be normal, or what are the problems that this car has. Because if it runs fine, then you don't know that there is always a risk. So always try and look out and buy it from a mechanic or a dealer, because these guys know their cars, and they have checked it, and they know, because they have a business and they need to make sure that they sell you a reliable car. And often times they also add a 3 months warranty or 6 months warranty, depending on the dealer that you go for. They will add in a 3 months warranty, and then you can, if you have any problems with that car, you can always go back to them and show them, and they will fix that for you. So that's a good thing, and that makes it more reliable. So look out for a dealer and then buy it. The next thing you should consider is, there are a few things. Okay, so in Australia we have something called RWC, which is called a roadworthy certificate. A roadworthy certificate is a certificate which is given by a certified roadworthy issuer, which is normally a mechanic. He will check the car, and he will check the mechanics of the car, like engine, all those things, and he will give you a certificate. That means it is roadworthy and it's ready to sell. And there's another thing called rego, or registration. Registration is required, roadworthy is required in order for you to register a car with transport office. So you need to get a roadworthy first, and then you can go take that roadworthy with you and take it to the transport office. You register that car and you get a registration. Or in some cases the dealers will already have a registration, and they also give you a roadworthy, so you can take the roadworthy, take the old registration, and then just transfer it to your name. That way it won't cost you that much money. So what I would recommend is, whenever you're buying a car, make sure that it has at least 4 months to 5 months of registration left on it, so that way you're not gonna spend another $500 on registration very soon. So if you buy a car for $2,500 and there is no registration on it, it's like buying a car which is $3,000 but has a registration on it. So it's better to go for the $3,000 car, because it's obviously going to be a much better quality, and then it comes with a registration and an RWC. It's always going to be more reliable for you. So always consider that before buying a car. There are a lot of things considering the RWC as well, because there are a lot of things which doesn't come into RWC, like the basics. Just the mechanics come under RWC, but also look out for any kind of dents, any kind of oil leaks. Always get it checked by a mechanic, or if you're buying from a mechanic, then it's mostly safe, but always make sure that it is a mechanic that you can trust, and there are some kind of warranty position or warranty clause in your purchase, and make sure that you have that, because if you don't have, then it's going to cost you a lot, because the mechanic fees in Australia is huge. Because when I bought my first car, okay, so that car was Peugeot 307, and I got that car, and then I took it home. It had one problem. He said the AC is not working. So I thought, AC is not working, it's fine, I'm just gonna get a regas and then it's gonna start working again. But then it turns out I took it to a mechanic, and the mechanic told me that there are a lot of oil leaks in the car, and also it's not the AC problem, it's the whole front duct, and it's not going to be fixed unless you pay $1,500, which was quite a lot, because I bought that car for about $2,300, and adding that $1,500 into the price, $2,300 plus the $400 which I paid for registration, how much was it? $2,300, $400, $2,700 plus the $1,500. That's almost going to cost me $4,000 for a car, which is not even worth $3,000 if it was in proper condition. So that's why I returned that car. Then I lost $500 of my registration which I paid. And I got a few things repaired which didn't really help me. So that thing. And then I bought the second car which had a steering rack problem. So it was a Mazda 2007 model, which I will put a picture on the screen. It was a Mazda 2007, and I bought that car for $1,850, and I got it repaired by a mechanic. I repaired that car for $550. I got it serviced, and that car came to me about how much? $2,200 or something. 1850 plus $2,300. And then it had problems, so then I had to sell it back. I sold it for $1,800 to somebody else, and that way I lost another $500. So these are the things which, if you consider all these things and if you go through all these things, then of course it's going to cost you a lot of money, which you shouldn't be spending. Instead of that, if you are just gone with a car which is from a mechanic and which costs around 3,500 to 4,000 plus, if you are going above, then of course it's going to be a better car, newer model. It's always going to be better for you to go for a newer model with less kilometers on it, because if you go with really used cars, it might work for you for 1 month or 2 months, then the expenses that it can give you is just horrible. You shouldn't go for it. So always, these are the things which I considered, and this was my experience in Australia, buying a car as an international student, because if you don't have that cash to spend on a car, so obviously you need to be very careful about where you spend your money, and getting these things done is very important. So, but always, the third car which I bought is working absolutely great, even though it's not really cosmetically beautiful, but it gets the job done, and I've been happy with that car, and I got a lot of jobs because of that car. So all money well invested. So if you are an international student, or if you're thinking to become one, get subscribed, and there's a lot of videos to help international students on my channel. I'm just a vlogger. I'm trying to share my experiences with you guys, so that you don't have to go through the experiences that I went through. So these are just my way to help you guys. And please go ahead, subscribe, and leave your comments down below. If you bought a car in Australia as an international student, how much did you buy it for, and how did that work out for you? Thank you so much for watching this video. If you guys liked it, give it a like, share your views in the comment section, and till then, stay subscribed and stay blessed. Bye bye.